Ford wants to define the future of self-driving cars in the city where the company had its humble beginnings. Executive Chairman Bill Ford Jr. just laid out plans to turn a century-old Detroit train station into its new hub for autonomous and electric vehicles. We showed you yesterday how the building, one of Detroit's oldest neighborhoods, will soon house 2,500 employees. Only on CBS This Morning, the great-grandson of company founder, that's Henry Ford, shares the future of self-driving technology, his take on Trump administration tariffs, and competition from Silicon Valley.
This isn't just another old building. We want to take an old building and inject new life into it, and I think we can.
Words you'd expect more from a real estate developer than the head of one of the world's biggest car companies.
Bill, look at the columns. I like that.
But real estate is very much on the mind of Ford's executive chairman, Bill Ford Jr. these days, specifically this real estate, the derelict ruins of Detroit's 105-year-old Michigan Central train station.
We're going to define the future of autonomous driving here in this building.
Now the building will become the new hub of Ford's autonomous and electric vehicle teams.
I heard somebody say, don't call it the train station, call it the brain station. That Bill Ford Jr. is planning to give Silicon Valley a run for its money in terms of recruiting really smart people to come here.
We are.
It's a market some say Ford has already lost to competitors like General Motors and Google's Waymo unit, companies that are promising to have autonomous cars on roads by later this year or early next. Ford predicts its self-driving models won't be ready until 2021.
Some people say that you're already behind the ball when it comes to that. You don't?
No, it's just
others are coming out before you.
Of course, they're coming out with statements. There's been a lot of overpromising, and I think a lot of misinformation that's been out there. It's really important that we get it right, rather than get it quickly.
Another competitor, Tesla CEO Elon Musk, has openly criticized legacy Detroit automakers like Ford for being stuck in the past. And yet, last week, after announcing that he was laying off 9% of his white-collar workforce, Musk appeared to seek common ground.
Elon Musk tweeted recently that Tesla and Ford remain the only American car companies who haven't gone bankrupt.
True. I've always been impressed by him. I think he's finding that maybe building a car company is more difficult than he first thought it might be.
Could it be that Tesla and Ford have a lot more in common than most of us realize or think?
Oh, absolutely. I think the similarities are much greater than the differences, frankly.
These days, all American auto companies are dealing with President Trump's decision to slap tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, something many analysts expect will raise the cost of making a car.
When you heard that was coming, did that freak you out a little bit?
It didn't freak me out, but I don't think it's helpful. There are 80 times more jobs attached to people who use steel, like airplanes and autos, than people who make steel. And those users will be disadvantaged by these tariffs because the prices, because the domestic, everything's going to rise.
One price tag Ford will not discuss is how much he paid for this building.
Did you get it for a steal?
We got it for a really good price. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
I'm trying to find out how much you paid for it, Bill.
Detroit real estate experts have estimated the total cost to buy and renovate the station will run well into hundreds of millions of dollars. For Bill Ford, that's money well spent to position his 115-year-old company for the future, a future where not everyone will own and drive their own cars, but rather share ones that drive themselves.
But isn't it less money for the company?
No,
though,
I think
Bill?
it'll be a much better business model for us because...
Explain.
Well, in this future model of autonomous vehicles, it'll be a subscription rate potentially, and it'll be a recurring revenue model for us.
But your last name is Ford.
Right.
No disrespect to your great-grandfather, but do you think he would be turning over in his grave right now if he was listening to you? Because he used to say, everybody should own a car.
Of course he did. But think a little bit deeper. What he really did was he enabled people to move freely. That was his goal, was to give people the freedom of movement. I think my great-grandfather would love this because it's redefining what it means to move in the world.
Henry Ford's great-grandson is not afraid to shake things up. Earlier this year, he discontinued almost every Ford sedan line in North America, focusing instead on trucks and SUVs. He's insisting those trucks are becoming more fuel efficient and soon will be available in hybrid and electric versions.
And you start thinking
It's an
about all
environmental
these
focus he
different,
says
revenue
he
streams
discovered
that can come into
long
this.
before
It
his
becomes really
industry
attractive.
did.
When you first started talking about this in the company, electric vehicles and self-driving vehicles, were you well received?
Not always. When I joined the board, I was actually told that I shouldn't associate with any known or suspected environmentalists. And of course, I paid no attention to that, and I did. But, you know, it's been a hard journey because often the technology wasn't there to deliver.
You actually had to decide if you were going to join the family business?
Yes.
What was the struggle for you?
Well, look, you know, my dad was great because he said to me, look, you're not going to be doing yourself or the company any favors if your heart isn't in it. And so I thought, all right, I'll try it. I'll see how it goes.
Is your heart in it?
Yeah, you bet it is.
Yeah.
I love this.
I make that LOVE exclamation point, capital letters. He clearly loves the company. He loves the city. You know, he's predicting or hoping that it'll be done by 2022. But you know, with any construction, he said, Bill, you need to double that. But he feels pretty good about how it's
Well, I
going.
like how they're not just innovating too,
No,
just
you're
in terms
right.
of the company, but they're trying to help the city around them, and
Exactly right.
those can be complementary
Yeah.
things. Those can be complementary.
And that matters a lot to him, Norah. I said, are you trying to, when he said, you know, they're releasing statements, I said, who are you talking about specifically? He goes, oh, I don't want to give him that. Well, give me some initials. No, he didn't want to give that. I said, well, do you want to beat Elon Musk? He goes, I want to beat Elon Musk and everybody in this business.
Sure.
So
He wasn't
we
throwing
get that.
specific shade. He
No.
was throwing general shade,
Yes, yeah.
trying to cover
exactly
an entire
right. General
continent.
shade. But I can't wait to go back. I can't wait
Yeah,
to go
I
back.
know. Incredible building.
Yes, I would love to be there.